Welcome, my dear students of 6th grade primary school. That's our weekly time for science, and today we'll have new lesson of new unit, Unit 3, which deal with the universe. Today we'll study Unit 3, which deal with the universe, and we'll study very interesting phenomenon, ظاهرة شيقة جدا, which is named solar eclipse. Before I explain this phenomena, I will make a very simple activity with you. Okay? So let's start this activity to know what's meant by solar eclipse. Solar eclipse معناها كسوف الشمس. Okay? Imagine that we have two candles like this, two candles. Okay? And okay, نرسم مع بعض. Imagine that we have two candles and a spherical shape like a plate and a wall. What happened here? What happened here? We know that light travels in a straight line. Okay? Light travels in straight line, as we have studied in primary 5. Okay, so what about the light from the other candle? Also light travel from straight line, or light travel in a straight line from the other candle. So we have three areas of shadow. Area number 1, area number 2, area number 3. This activity is very important. Please, my dear students, you can do this activity at your home. It's very easy activity. So what about the three types of shadow? We have three types of shadow, or two types and three areas. عندنا ثلاث مناطق لكن هم نوعين بس. النوع الأول part 1 هنسميه umbra. لأنه بيكون very dark. Umbra is a very dark area. But the other two areas are called penumbra. The other two areas, which number 2 and 3, they are called penumbra ومعناها شبه الظل. So we have two types of areas or two types of shadows and the three areas. The two types are umbra and penumbra, and all of us know that umbra is the original name of the umbrella. يبقى umbra هنا معناها الظل اللي خدنا منها كلمة umbrella. So what about penumbra? Penumbra هنسميها شبه الظل أو منطقة شبه الظل, because it's an area or it's an area of faint shadow. هي area فيها shadow بس مش جامد قوي, مش very dark shadow like the umbra. So we have two areas, umbra and penumbra. Umbra, one area umbra, and two areas of penumbra. So what about solar eclipse? Solar eclipse is an interesting phenomena that occurs with two conditions. بتحصل بشرطين. الشرط الأول, the sun, the earth, and the moon, all of them are in a straight line. لازم يكون الsun والearth والmoon كلهم على نفس ال straight line. What's the other condition? إيه هو الشرط التاني? The other condition is that the moon in the middle. So let's return back to our activity. Here, the two candles here which I draw represent the sun, or the light rays come from the sun. So they represent the sun. What about the spherical plate? It represents the moon. What about the wall here? The wall represents the earth. So again, if the sun, the moon, and the earth are all on a straight line, with the moon in the middle, they will form solar eclipse. Again, solar eclipse occurs when the sun, the moon, and the earth are all on a straight line with the moon in the middle. So let me draw what happened in solar eclipse. After that, we will see a short video about what happened in solar eclipse. Here I have the sun. As I draw, here I have the sun. Here I have the moon. We know that the moon is smaller than the earth, much smaller than the earth. Here is the earth. Okay. We know that the light travels in a straight line like this. Okay. Light travels in a straight line. So how many areas here I have? I have area number 1 like this, which is called umbra. So what about the two areas here? Here another area, and here is another area. It's called penumbra, and this area is called also penumbra. Okay, so I have here three areas with two types. هم ثلاث مناطق, okay, لكن هم two types بس, نوعين بس اسمهم umbra و penumbra. Umbra هي منطقة الظل, which is called the shadow area, and it's a very dark shadow area. The penumbra is a faint outer shadow. هي الظل الخارجي لكن بيكون faint, يعني ضوء خافت شوية أو الظل مش very dark زي الأمبرا. So again, I have two areas with I have two types of three areas. Again, I have umbra, and penumbra. I have three areas with two types. So here, if someone stands here, لو شخص عايش في المكان ده on the earth, he will not see the sun completely. Because the moon will eclipse on the sun. Again, he will not see the sun completely because the moon will eclipse on the sun. What does that mean? إيه معنى دوت؟ The moon will block all the sunlight, so I cannot see anything of the sun from this place. So what about this place? What about this place and this place? I can see only a part of the sun. I can see only a part of the sun, so it's called partial solar eclipse. Again, I can see only a part of the sun only, so it's called a partial solar eclipse. So again, I have two type of eclipse here, or two type of shadow here, which is called umbra, and penumbra. So now, let's start, or let's see a very short video about the mechanism of solar eclipse. هنشوف فيديو that illustrates the rotation of the earth around the sun, and rotation of also the moon around the earth, and the being of the moon between the sun and the earth, to know what happened, or to know what our type of eclipses do we have in this lesson. So now let's start our video about solar eclipse. Here I have the sun. Look here with me. Again, here I have the video about the solar eclipse. Here I have the sun at the left, the earth, as we know, it rotates around itself. And if the moon comes between the sun and the earth, لو المون جه between the sun and the earth, I will have two areas or two shadows and the three areas. Area number one, which is very dark, is called umbra. Area number one is called umbra, and area number two and number three is called penumbra. So here is the view of the sun from the earth. Here, if someone standing here on this area in the penumbra or in the umbra area, sorry, he will not see anything. يبقى لو في شخص عايش في المكان ده على الارث وشايف الامبرا, he will not see anything of the sun because moon blocks all the sunlight, because moon blocks all sunlight that comes out from the sun. So I cannot see anything from the sun, so it will called total solar eclipse. هنسميها الحالة ديت total solar eclipse. Okay? So what about if the moon rotates also around the earth? And we know that if the moon rotates around the earth, it rotates in circular or oval shape. So what about the two areas which are called penumbra? المنطقتين التانيين هنسميهم penumbra. What happened in them? ايه اللي هيحصل فيهم? So what can I see in those two areas? Okay, نرجع تاني للفيديو ونشوف what can I see in those two areas. Okay, here if someone lives here on the earth in the area of penumbra, or the area of penumbra here, he will see a part only of the sun. He will see a part only of the sun, and it will called partial solar eclipse. Here I have the second type of eclipse, which is called partial solar eclipse. Here again, I repeat the video again. Here, look here. If I cannot see anything of the sun, هنسميها total solar eclipse. If I see part only of the sun, it will be called partial solar eclipse. So again, we have two types up till now. عندنا three types من eclipse, but up till now we have three types. So, but up till now we have studied two types only, which are called total solar eclipse here and the partial solar eclipse. Here I have partial solar eclipse. Look again here, I have partial solar eclipse. Okay? When do I have partial solar eclipse? When the moon covers only a part of the sun. When the moon covers only a part of the sun. Look here, this is umbra region or umbra area, منطقة الأمبرا أو منطقة الظل. Here I can see, or I cannot see anything of the sun, so it will called total solar eclipse. Again, it will called total solar eclipse. Okay? Okay, so now let's return back to our lesson about solar eclipse after we have seen this short video about solar eclipse. So again, I want you to make a definition for solar eclipse. Again and again, I said I want you to be creative students. مش لازم أكون حافظ definition, لكن ممكن جدا أكون فاهمه. What's meant by solar eclipse? Solar eclipse, as I understand it, it's an astronomical phenomena in which the moon comes between sun and the earth, and all of them are on a straight line. Again, solar eclipse again is an astronomical phenomena where the moon comes between sun and the earth. So we have a caller, Mai. How are you, Mai? Mariam, sorry. How are you, Mariam?
Hello?
Hello, Mariam.
I'm fine.
Okay, how is everything with you?
Okay, I need to be asked.
You want to be asked?
Yes.
Okay, you have studied solar eclipse, Mariam?
Yes, but I take habit in my school.
Okay, Mariam. So can you tell me, or can you give me a definition for solar eclipse, Mariam?
What?
Can you give me a definition for solar eclipse?
So it is astronomical phenomenon that occurs when the moon and the sun and the earth in one straight line.
Very good, Mariam. It's an astronomical phenomena where the sun and the earth and the moon are in a straight line with the moon in the middle. So how many types of eclipse, Mariam, do we have in solar eclipse?
Penumbra and umbra and penumbra.
Again, Mariam, again.
Penumbra and umbra.
No, how many type of eclipse, Mariam? Not how many type of shadows.
Partial solar eclipse and total solar eclipse and annular solar eclipse.
Okay, total solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, and at last the annular solar eclipse.
And the umbra area, it occurs. The umbra area, it occurs in total solar eclipse. The penumbra area, it occurs in the partial solar eclipse, and the annular solar eclipse, it occurs in.
Okay, Mariam. Can you give me reason why is nutcracker is second class level? Why nutcracker is considered?
Nutcracker?
Yeah, nutcracker.
Because the resistance arm, because the force arm.
No, Mariam, please again concentrate, Mariam. You are in a hurry. Why are you in a hurry? Please concentrate, Mariam. Give reason. Nutcracker كسرة البندق is a second class level. Why?
Because the force arm always.
No, Mariam. We said that second class level contains resistance between effort and fulcrum.
Force arm is longer than the resistance.
Okay.
First, because the force arm is longer than the resistance arm, and the effort force is always smaller than the resistance force.
Okay, Mariam. Thank you, Mariam. Very good. Excellent pupil. Okay. So now let's return back to our lesson about solar eclipse. We have studied, we have two types of shadows. عندنا منطقتين للشادو, umbra and penumbra. And also we have three types of eclipses, of solar eclipses, which are total, partial and annular. So now let's study them in details. But before we study them in details, we must revise some information we have studied in primary 5 especially. So now we know that huge trees make shadow because they hide some sun rays. So again, why shadow occurs? ليه بيحصل shadow? Because some huge trees, for example, or some opaque materials, أي مادة معتمة, can hide some sun rays or can hide the sunlight. Also, we know that sun emits heat and light every morning. Okay, that's very good information. Okay, sun rays travel in straight lines. Again, we have studied in primary 5 that sun ray travels in a straight line. Okay, so Earth rotates around the sun in oval or elliptical orbit. Again, we have studied in primary 4 that Earth rotates around the sun in oval or elliptical orbit. Okay, that's all information we have studied in primary 4 and primary 5. Moon rotates around the Earth in a smaller oval orbit. Again, Moon rotates around the Earth in smaller oval orbit. So, when does solar eclipse happen or occur, and when does it occur? Okay, now let's study. Or when the Moon comes between the Sun and the Earth, we saw that. That's the very important condition. The Moon comes between Sun and the Earth on the same straight line. That's the other condition. All of them must be on the same straight line. So here I have the experiment I have done, but instead of I used 2 candles, you can use a very big torch like this, a spherical tennis ball or a plate like this, and you will have area of umbra and area of penumbra. يبقى الاكسبيرمنت اللي قلنا عليها من شويه very important and very easy at the same time. We can do it at home safely by using light source like light torch, which represents the sun, and the tennis ball, which represents the moon, and the wall, which represents the earth. Here I have area of umbra and the area of penumbra. Okay, so we can give a definition for the area of umbra or the cone umbra. It's like the cone. We have studied the shape cone or the cone shape in mathematics. So again, the umbra, we can say it's a dark inner shadow area in which total solar eclipse appear. Again, ايه هي منطقة الأمبرا أو what's meant by umbra? It's a dark inner shadow in which the total solar eclipse appears. Okay? Again, it's a dark inner shadow area in which the total solar eclipse appears. So now I think we have a caller. Malak. Hello, Malak.
Hello.
Hello, Malak. Okay. You have studied solar eclipse, Malak?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me definition for the penumbra? I said the umbra is a dark inner shadow area. Can you give me definition for the penumbra?
Mr. Hoisel?
What's meant by penumbra, Malak? Okay, Malak, we have studied, or we will study today, you are studying the eclipse, solar eclipse, okay? You have studied at school, Malak?
Yes.
Okay. What's meant by penumbra?
Penumbra?
Yeah.
It is the area.
Yeah. That has dark shadow or faint shadow?
Faint.
Dark or faint? Yeah,
Faint.
Malak. Okay. So we can make a definition easily by understanding, Malak, not keeping them by the heart. Okay? Okay, Malak? Okay.
Yes.
You have studied the electric dangers, Malak?
Yes.
Okay, can you give me some examples of direct injuries of the electricity?
Electric shock, electric burn.
Electric shock, electric burn. So we have missed Malak. Okay, sorry. So now let's return back to our lesson about solar eclipse and definition of the umbra and penumbra. Okay, so we said that the umbra or the umbral cone, هنسميها umbral cone أو مخروط الظل أو الظل المخروطي. It's a dark inner shadow in which the total solar eclipse appears. So what's about the penumbra? The penumbra, as Malak said from a while, it's the faint outer shadow in which the partial solar eclipse appear. هي المنطقة اللي فيها ظل بس بيكون faint. Faint means not very dark, weak in darkness, okay? So it's a faint outer shadow in which the partial solar eclipse appears. Okay, so now what happens if the moon comes in a higher orbit? يعني لو moon عارفين هو بيدور في orbital around the earth and this orbital is oval, so the moon will come nearer to the sun but not very nearer. The moon can come nearer to the sun, so it will make another area of shadow. So let me draw it because it's a very interesting another phenomena of solar eclipse. Okay, here I have the sun, okay, but here I have the moon nearer to the sun in this case, and I have the earth farther. Okay, we know that the sun rays travel in a straight line as we have studied. Okay, here I have sun rays travel in a straight line. Here I have the area of umbra as we have studied. This is the umbra area or the umbral cone. هي فعلا شكلها شبه الكون، شبه المخروط. Okay. Here I have the two areas of penumbra. Okay. And here I have another new area which is like the umbral cone. يبقى في منطقة ثالثة جديدة خالص هنسميها antumbra أو هنسميها كمان negative shadow. يبقى ممكن ليها two names. Okay. negative shadow الظل السلبي أو هنسميها umbra. وإيه هي تحديدا ديت الأمبرا أو الأنتمبرا؟ هي extension of the umbral cone. يعني هنا I can imagine that the umbra ends at this point. الأمبرا انتهت هنا. So if I extend the two rays of umbra like this، لو عملت extension ليهم هيطلع منطقة جديدة خالص هنسميها antumbra. So again antumbra is the extension of the umbra. Antumbra is the extension of antumbra, and antumbra is a new area but it's a very similar to the area of umbra. يبقى في منطقة الانتمبرا هنا برضه هيكون في dark shadow. So again Malak from Cairo, I think that again Malak. Okay, hello Malak. Hello Malak. Hello. Okay, you said that's what's meant by penumbra, Malak?
Penumbra?
Yeah, again please. It's an area of faint shadow, okay? Okay, Malak, can you give me definition for the lever, Malak? For lever, what's meant by lever?
It is a rigid bar that rotates around.
It's a rigid bar, yeah.
That rotates around the fixed point.
Please, Malak, can you make your sound, your voice higher?
It is a rigid bar that rotates around a fixed point.
Yeah, it's a rigid bar and rotates around fixed point called what, Malak? It's a rigid bar, rotates around fixed point called fulcrum.
Yes.
And is affected by two forces. What are them?
Resistance force and effort force.
Okay, can you give me some examples of first class levers?
Scissors, seesaw, nutcracker.
Okay, at last, Malak, your last question. Give me some examples of insulator of electricity. Insulators of electricity.
Insulators.
Yeah.
Wood, plastic, glass.
Wood, plastic, glass. Okay, Malak, thank you very much, and I hope you every possible success. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now let's return back to our information about a new area which is called antumbra. I said that we have two areas of shadow which is called umbra and penumbra. So what happens if the moon comes nearer to the sun? If the moon comes nearer to the sun, I will have another new area which will be called antumbra. Antumbra, or the negative shadow, is the extension of the umbral cone, because the umbral cone, or because the umbra will end at a point, and if I made extensions for the two rays, I will have another area for the umbra which is called antumbra. So I have here another area and surely another new of eclipse which is called annular solar eclipse. هنسميه كسوف شمس حلقي أو هنسميه annular solar eclipse, which means that I can see only a lighted ring of the sun. أنا بشوف بس فقط lighted ring from the sun, يعني حلقة مضيئة from the sun, and we will see some very interesting images for the eclipse now. So now let's return back to our lesson. So what happens if the moon rotates on a higher orbit than the earth, because its orbit is oval? Okay, here I have area umbra and penumbra, surely as what happened before, and another new area here which is called antumbra. So here عندي هنا منطقة جديدة, new area هنسميها antumbra, but here I have the umbra and penumbral which I have studied before. Okay, so here we will have three types of eclipses or three types of areas. Okay, here it's a very interesting and very clarifying image for the solar eclipse. Here I have the sun, the moon, and the earth, all of them on a straight line, nearly on a straight line. With what in the middle? With the moon in the middle. So there are two conditions. هنا عندي شرطين بس للeclipse for solar eclipse. First condition, the sun, the moon, and the earth are all of them all on a straight line. And the other condition is that the moon in the middle. Again, solar eclipse appears or occurs when the earth, the sun, and the moon, all of them on the same straight line, with the moon in the middle, between the sun and the earth. So we can make easily a very simple definition for solar eclipse. Okay, solar eclipse is an astronomical phenomenon. هو ظاهرة فلكية. It's an astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the earth, the sun, and the moon are nearly on a straight line, with the moon in the middle, casting its shadow on the earth and hiding the sunlight. Again, هو هنا يبان كأنه long definition, but I said before, if you are a creative student أو طالب مبدع فعلا, you can make your own definition from your understanding. Again, what's meant by solar eclipse? It's an astronomical phenomenon. Occurs when the earth, the moon, and the sun are nearly on the same straight line, one straight line, with what in the middle? مين هو اللي في المنتصف? With the moon in the middle. Okay, with the moon in the middle. What happens when the moon comes in the middle between sun and the earth? Surely the moon will cast its shadow on the earth and hiding the sunlight. Again, casting its shadow on the earth and hiding the sunlight. So now we have a caller, Marwa from Cairo. Marwa?
Hello.
Hello, Marwa. How are you?
Fine.
Okay, how is science with you?
Good.
Science good? Not excellent? Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, Malak. Okay. You have a question, Malak? Marwa, sorry?
I'm Marwa.
Okay, you have a question, Marwa, or you want to be asked?
No, I want to be asked.
Okay, Marwa. Can you give me a definition for good conductors of electricity or conductors of electricity?
It is a material that allow electricity to pass through it.
Okay, another definition, Malak, for insulator of electricity, insulators of electricity.
It is the materials that don't allow the electricity to flow through it.
They are the materials that don't allow electricity to pass through. Okay, Malak, another definition, that's the last definition for the electric current. What's meant by electric current? It's a flow of what?
It is a flow of electricity
Yeah.
through
Through electric conductors,
through electric.
like a wire. Okay, Malak. Okay, Malak, give reason. We consider the scissors. Marwa, sorry, I'm so sorry, Marwa. Okay, give reason, Marwa. We consider the scissors from the first class level. Why?
Because the fulcrum is between the resistance and the effort force.
Okay, so what about the fishing tool, Marwa, sorry?
Because the effort force is between the resistance and the fulcrum.
So it's considered from what level, Marwa?
Third.
Yeah, third level. Okay, very good, Marwa. Excellent. I hope you every possible success. Thank you, Marwa. Okay, so now we have studied the type of eclipses or type of shadows, which are umbra, penumbra, and antumbra at last. Also we have made definition, very easy definition for the solar eclipse, which means that it's an astronomical phenomena in which the sun, the moon, and the earth are all of them in a straight line with the moon in the middle. That's the two conditions we have studied for solar eclipse. So again, we have two conditions only for solar eclipse. Is that the first condition is that sun and the earth and the moon are on a straight line. The second condition, the moon in the middle between the sun and the earth. And truly, if the moon in the middle between sun and the earth, it will cast its shadow on the earth and hiding sunlight from reaching the earth. But moon will hide sunlight with different degrees, like the partial and total and penumbral eclipse. So in case one of which I draw, when the moon comes between sun and the earth, nearer to the earth, not nearer to the sun, it blocks sunlight totally. Totally here means completely from a part of the earth's surface, as the moon appear equal in size to the sun, forming what happened or what's called total solar eclipse. يبقى في الحالة الأولى نرجع لها تاني، كنا رسمناها من شوية، نرجع تاني للحالة الأولى. If the moon comes between sun and the earth، نشوف مع بعض الحالة الأولى اللي كان فيها المون between sun and the earth but nearer to the earth. Here the moon will completely cover the sun، يعني الشمس مش هتبان خالص من الأرث، so it will cause total solar eclipse in the area of umbra. Again, total solar eclipse in the area of umbra. Here in this area I will have a type of eclipse which is called total solar eclipse. Okay, but what happened in the other case, or in the second case, when the moon comes nearer to the sun, I will have another area, a new area or antumbra, which means that I have new area of shadow. Okay, so before I explain this, we have Abdurrahman from Cairo.
Hello?
Hello, Abdurrahman.
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, thank you, Abdurrahman. You have a question, Abdurrahman, you want to be asked?
No, I want.
You have a question?
No, I want. Yes.
You want to be asked, Abdurrahman. Okay, Abdurrahman, what is the type of eclipse do we have in the area of antumbra? What type of eclipse in the area of antumbra, Abdurrahman? You have studied eclipse, Abdurrahman?
Solar eclipse.
Yeah, but what type of eclipse? What type of solar eclipse? In the area of antumbra, we have total or partial or annular, Abdurrahman.
The vision? The dimension?
No, what type of eclipse, Abdurrahman, do we have in the area of antumbra? We have studied two types up till now. Total, which occurs in umbra.
Total solar eclipse and partial solar eclipse.
And at what the third type? Its name is annular, Abdurrahman.
Antumbra.
Annular occurs in the antumbra. Okay, Abdurrahman, please study solar eclipse again. You must concentrate in the three types of eclipse. Okay? So, Abdurrahman, can you give me definition for solar eclipse?
Definition for solar eclipse?
Yeah.
Solar eclipse.
It's an astronomical phenomenon.
Solar eclipse, it is astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun are nearly on one straight line with the Moon in the middle. With the Moon in the middle?
Okay, Abdurrahman, thank you. Abdurrahman, the last question for you. What about the bottle opener of the lever? What type of bottle opener?
What?
Bottle opener. فتاحة الزجاجات. Bottle opener. First or second or third class level, Abdurrahman?
Second class level.
Very good, Abdurrahman. Okay.
هو كان في سؤال give reason بس أنا معرفش حاجة.
Okay. Can you tell me this question, Abrahman, please?
The glass bulb.
What, Abrahman, again? Give reason.
The glass bulb.
The glass bulb.
In the light bulb.
The glass bulb of the light bulb.
Is full.
Of the light bulb is filled.
Yes, with inert argon gas.
Okay, is filled with inert argon gas. Okay, Abrahman?
Yes.
Do you know what's meant by argon gas, Abrahman? Argon
Yes.
gas is an inert gas that doesn't help in burning. So, glass bulb is filled with this gas to prevent burning of the filament. يبقى هو ليه وظيفة مهمة جدا إنه بيمنع احتراق الفيلامنت of tungsten أو الفتيلة المصنوعة من tungsten. Okay? So the answer will be that to prevent burning of the filament.
طب ممكن أسأل سؤال كمان؟
What, Abrahman?
Another question.
Another question. Okay, Abrahman.
Reason item.
Another give reason. Okay.
Yes.
Give reason. Galileo.
Yes. Didn't invite his first astronomical
Abrahman, please, slowly, Abrahman. I can't hear you correctly. Galileo what?
Didn't. What happened?
What happened? Not give reason, Abrahman.
Yes. Galileo didn't invent.
Didn't invent.
Yes, invent.
Didn't invent يعني ما كانش اخترع. Didn't invent.
His first astronomical. Yes.
Astronomical telescope. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Abrahman. That's a very easy question, Abrahman. Okay. Galileo discovered or invented, the astronomical telescope, the first astronomical telescope, to see what happened or what about the stars, what about the galaxies, what about the planets. So if Galileo didn't invent this telescope, so we cannot examine or we cannot observe the space. So the answer will be easily, we cannot observe the space or the outer space. Okay? Okay, Abrahman. Thank you very much, Abrahman, for your interesting question. But please study solar eclipse harder. Okay? Okay, thank you, Abrahman. Okay, so we have studied up till now the three types of shadows, which are umbra, penumbra, and antumbra. And also we have said we have one area of umbra, two areas of penumbras, and also one area of antumbra, which is the extension of the umbral cone. So what happened in the antumbra area? Look here, we have another area of antumbra or another area of umbra. When the moon comes between the sun and the earth, nearer to the earth, it blocks sunlight completely, totally, and we have in this case total solar eclipse. So what happened in the other case? When the moon rotates farther from the earth, becomes between the sun and the earth, it causes an annular solar eclipse. هيسبب كسوف اسمه annular solar eclipse, as the moon appears smaller than the sun and also causes a partial solar eclipse. Okay, so now shadow is formed, as we know, when an opaque object blocks a part of the incoming light. Okay, this phenomenon happens when our moon, as we said, blocks a part of the sunlight from the earth and casts its shadow. يعني يلقي بظلاله، بيغطي يعني بيضلل on the earth's surface. This phenomenon is called solar eclipse. As we said, solar eclipse is a phenomena occurs when the moon, sun, and the earth are on a straight line with the moon in the middle. Okay, so earth rotates around the sun in oval orbit, as we know. Okay, sometimes the moon appears at airs larger and other times. Okay, Matthew, and now we have Matthew from Cairo. Matthew from Fayoum, sorry. Okay, hello Matthew. Hello Matthew. You have a question, Matthew? You want to be asked? You want to be asked? Okay, Matthew. What's meant by total solar? You have studied eclipse? What's meant by solar eclipse, Matthew? What's meant by solar eclipse?
Total solar eclipse?
Okay.
It is the eclipse that occurs in the penumbra.
Total, Matthew, occurs in the penumbra. How come?
It occurs in umbra.
Occurs in umbra. It's a type of eclipse which occurs in the umbra, and in this eclipse we cannot see the sun completely. Okay? Okay. So what about the partial eclipse, Matthew? What about the partial?
This is the eclipse that occurs in penumbra.
In penumbra, and we have what we can see in this type of eclipse, Matthew? What we can see in this type of eclipse? يعني بشوف ايه في النوع اللي ده من الاكليبس البارشال. Can I see all the sun?
Part of the sun.
Part of sun. Okay, so what about the third type of eclipse, or the last type, which is named what? What's meant by the third type of eclipse, which is named annular solar eclipse? نوع الثالث يا ماثيو اسمه annular solar eclipse.
It is the eclipse that occurs in umbra.
Which occurred in the antumbra. Okay, Matthew. And we can see what from the sun? Not part from the sun. I can see. Yes, I can see a lighted ring, Matthew. I can see all the lighted ring of the sun. The margins, الحروف بس. Okay. So I can see the lighted ring of the sun, not the sun completely, and not the part of sun. Okay, Matthew. Okay, let's concentrate on the definition, Matthew, and study them more harder. Okay. Okay, thank you, Matthew, very much. I hope you every possible success. Okay, so now let's return back to our lesson about solar eclipse and its types. And we have studied that sometimes the moon comes nearer to the sun and makes an area of antumbra. So here the moon appears at the earth larger and other times smaller. This is due to its rotation around the earth in oval orbits. Okay, so now sometimes the moon comes between the sun and the earth, preventing sunlight from reaching the earth. Okay, so they are the type of eclipse we have studied today. Type of eclipses are total solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, and at last annular solar eclipse. Again, total, partial, annular. Total, partial, annular. What about each type of them? Look here in this picture, it's a very important picture. Here I have area of umbra at the letter A, so I have total solar eclipse. But at the letter C, I have the area of penumbra. I can see a part of the sun only, so I have partial solar eclipse. But here I have the area of antumbra, the new area, which means that I can see only a lighted ring of the sun, so I can see, or I can say, this eclipse is called an annular solar eclipse. Look here at the pictures at the bottom of the screen. Here I cannot see the sun completely, مش شايف الشمس خالص. So it's called total solar eclipse. But here I can see a part of the sun at the picture C, so it's called the partial solar eclipse. Here at the picture P, I can see only the lighted ring, the margins. بشوف بس الحروف الخارجية من الشمس أو الأطراف الخارجية, or the margins, or the lighted ring, الحلقة المضيئة بس من الشمس. So it's called the annular solar eclipse, the annular solar eclipse, أو كسوف الشمس الحلقي. So now let's make a definition for the total solar eclipse. As I said before, and more, you must be creative. You can make definition for each one, or for each definition, by understanding, not by keeping them by heart. So what happened in total solar eclipse? I can see that it's type of eclipse in which we cannot see the sun completely. We cannot see the sun completely. Because what? Because the earth locates or will be in the area of the umbra of the moon. Again, total solar eclipse means that I cannot see the sun completely. Because what? Because the earth locates in the area of the umbra of the moon. So we can make a definition like this for the total solar eclipse. It's type of eclipse in which we cannot see the sun completely, and it's formed in the shadow area or the umbra area of the moon. ممكن اقف لغايه هنا, مش لازم اكون عارف الريديوس الخاص بالقطر دوت او نصف القطر الخاص بمدار القمر قد ايه بالظبط. مش مشكله قوي عندنا يعني. Okay, so again, total solar eclipse, it's a type of solar eclipse in which we cannot see the sun completely, and is formed in the shadow area or the umbra area of the moon. Okay, so that's very important picture for the total solar eclipse. Okay, here I have another picture. Look here, that's the sun. Imagine that the sun, which is very shiny all the days, will be like that, a black disk. الشمس اللي هي كل يوم بتدينا ضوء وحرارة ملهمش نهاية. ممكن يبقى ده حالها لو حصل total solar eclipse. I cannot see the sun completely. Why? Because the moon blocks the sunlight. Because the moon blocks sunlight and the earth lies here in the umbra area of the moon. يبقى المون في الحالة دي هو اللي بيحجب ضوء الشمس تماما عن الأرض أو عن المكان اللي بنسميه umbra of the moon. يبقى أي شخص عايش في المكان ده تحديدا في الوقت دوت هيشوف الشمس كأنها black disk or أسود and we cannot have any light in this case. Okay? Another picture for the total solar eclipse. Okay? So what about the partial solar eclipse? It's a type of solar eclipse in which we can see a part of the sun. بشوف جزء بس من الشمس and it's formed in the semi-shaded area أو هنسميها زي ما سميناها penumbra area. يبقى البينامبرا بيحصل فيها نوع من الإكليبس اسمه partial solar. I have a picture for the partial solar eclipse like that. Look here, it's the sun. So what happened to the sun here? Someone ate something of the sun. هل في حد أكل جزء منها؟ لا طبعا. هو اللي حصل إن المون covers a part of the sun. المون covers a part of the sun بيغطي جزء من الشمس أو blocks some light. block a part of sun بيحجب جزء من ضوء الشمس. So I can see only a part of the sun. بشوف جزء بس من ضوء الشمس. Not all the sunlight. مش كل ضوء الشمس. So here I have the partial solar eclipse which appears or which occurs in the area of penumbra. In the area of penumbra. Okay? Another picture for the partial solar eclipse. Here I can see a part only from the sun, a part only of the sun, not all the sun because the moon here, the moon blocks. هنا تخيل هو ده المون اللي بيعمل block للجزء من sunlight. Again, the moon blocks some part of the sunlight, so I cannot see the sun completely due to the presence of the moon between the sun and the earth and the presence of the earth in the area of penumbra, in the area of penumbra of the moon. Okay? At last the annular solar eclipse. النوع الأخير والنوع الثالث بنسميه كسوف الشمس الحلقي أو بنسميه annular solar eclipse. It's a type of solar eclipse in which the sun appears as a lighting ring and is formed when the moon is in a higher orbit from the sun or from the earth, sorry. So its cone shadow doesn't reach the earth and it occurs, ممكن هنا أضيف عليها هقول it occurs in the area of antumbra. يعني بتحصل في منطقة بنسميها antumbra. Again, the annular solar eclipse كسوف الشمس الحلقي is a type of solar eclipse in which we can see the sun as lighted ring or in which the sun appears as a lighted ring or lightning ring and is formed when the moon is in a higher orbit from the earth so its cone shadow doesn't reach the earth. So now let us summarize. ممكن نلخص مع بعض what are the type of eclipses and what are the areas of shadow do they occur. Okay? نكتب مع بعض نوع أنواع الإكليبس اللي درسناها النهاردة. Solar eclipse especially. We have studied three types of eclipses which are total, partial, annular. Again, total, partial, annular. Okay? Total eclipse here, total, partial, and at last annular. And we must note that annular with two n's. هنا فيها حرفين n لأن لو بn واحدة بس يبقى معناها سنوي وده مش نوع الإكليبس. Okay? Again, total eclipse occurs in what? Occurs in the area of umbra. Again, total eclipse occurs in the area of umbra. Partial occurs in the area of penumbra. And what about the annular? It occurs in the area of antumbra. Okay? Okay, again, total eclipse occurs in the area of umbra. Partial occurs in the area of penumbra. And at last, annular occurs in the area of antumbra. So we must note that partial begin with the letter P, occurred in the penumbra with the letter P. يبقى اللي فيها حرف ال P بتبدأ مع حرف ال P. Okay? So what about the annular? Begin with the letter E and antumbra begin with the letter E. بناخد بالنا ممكن نربطهم كده بالletters ان التوتال بيحصل في الامبرا ده مفيش ربط فيه بالletters and البارشال بيحصل في البينامبرا والانيولار بيحصل في الانتامبرا او اللي سميناها negative shadow او extension of the umbral cone. Extension of the umbral cone. So now we have studied the three types of eclipses do we have today, total and partial and at last annular, and also we have studied the type of shadow in which each type of them occurs or in which each type of them happen, or when it happened in the Earth, or where it happened on the Earth. So now I have a very important picture to distinguish between the total and the annular solar eclipse. Here I can see only the margins of the sun. هنا شايف بس الأحرف الخارجية من الشمس أو اللايتد رينج الخاصة بالشمس، الحلقة المضيئة الموجودة في الشمس. So I can call them or call this area or call this type of eclipse is that total solar eclipse. I'm so sorry, it's annular solar eclipse. ده كسوف شمس حلقي because I can see only the lighted ring of the sun الحلقة المضيئة بس من الشمس عفوا. And this is called it's called the eclipse أو كسوف الشمس الحلقي. Okay, another picture, an amazing picture for the annular solar eclipse. I can see only the sun, the part or the outer part of the sun, outer part الأجزاء الخارجية بس, the margins الحروف الخارجية من الشمس or the lighted ring. And where is the moon here? The moon here is that هو الجزء الأسود اللي في النص ده البلاك ديسك اللي بيغطي most of the sun. So here I have the last type of eclipse which is called the annular solar eclipse أو كسوف شمس حلقي. Okay, so here I have the picture for all the eclipses that we have studied or did we have studied. Okay, here I have the total solar eclipse. Here I have the partial, another phenomena or another phase of the partial, يعني ظاهرة تانية من partial برضو كمان partial, and all of them partial, and all of them at the left side are partial also, but here in the middle I have the total solar eclipse. So we have studied the three types of eclipses which are total, partial, and at last annular solar eclipse. At last annular solar eclipse. Okay, so let's make a comparison between total and annular eclipse. Okay, the first point of comparison that we will talk about is the shape of the sun, شكل الشمس. Here in the total eclipse, the sun disappears completely. The sun disappears completely, so we cannot see the sun at all. So what about the annular? The sun appears as a lighted ring. The sun appears as a lighted ring or a lighting ring. So I can see the margins only of the sun. Okay? Another reason, the position of the moon. فين مكان القمر لكل حالة منهم. The position of the moon. Here in the total, it's nearer to the earth. It's nearer to the earth. بيكون أقرب للأرض. And in the annular, it's farther from the earth. It's farther from the earth in a higher orbit. Okay, so we have studied, or we had made a comparison between the total and annular solar eclipse, between the 2 points of comparison, the position of the moon and the shape of the sun. Okay, so now let's make another comparison between the total and annular in the area of shadow. What's the difference between them? I think that you have studied, or you have known that the total eclipse occurred in the area of umbra, and the partial eclipse occurs in the area of penumbra, as we have studied, and at last the annular occurs in the area of antumbra. Again, we have studied the three types of eclipses today, which are total, partial, annular. We have studied each definition of them, and also we have studied the area of shadow do each type of them occurs. So now we have reached our end of this episode. So goodbye and see you soon, and I wish you every possible luck.